Hi everyone, this presentation is about the Bronte sisters, Emily, Charlotte and Anne, who were born in West Yorkshire. Each of these sisters were well known in the 19th century for their work. However, some of their published novels and poetry came into recognition a little after their time. All three sisters were famous romantics. Their works each revolved around natural, emotional, and personal themes. After the death of their mother in 1821 and the death of two siblings in early childhood, they grew up in relative seclusion as preachers' daughters. They were also brought up mainly by their Aunt Elizabeth. They all attended different schools and were taught at home. The Bronte sisters were unfortunately left alone at an early age in their isolated home, and so they constituted a separate literary group which neither had predecessors nor successors. There is not a Bronte line that exists among authors of realist and naturalist novels. These three very talented sisters created several novels, written at first in secret and published under fictitious pen names. Each sister chose the name of a man. Charlotte chose Currer Bell, Emily chose Ellis Bell, and Anne chose Acton Bell. Other female writers in the Victorian era also follow through this idea, such as the famously known George Eliot, who is actually Mary Ann. The reason for all these female writers using pen names is because in the Victorian era, females were seen as less competent than male writers. Women in the Victorian era, in fact, were not seen as capable of anything much apart from being housewives and mistresses. If they wanted their work to be published and sold, then they had to protect their identities. The novels of the Bronte sisters, however, centre on the difficulties faced by women due to their social expectations in Victorian England. Women of that time had few employment opportunities and were dependent on the men in their families or the men who employed them. Most of these novels can be seen as hints of early feminism, where the protagonists struggle to gain independence. The characters who are unable to stand up for themselves or to gain some sort of strength suffer and are depicted as pitiful. For instance, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte is an orphan's struggle to gain economic stability and respect in a time when personal freedom and self-reliance was very difficult for women. Ultimately, all three sisters suffered great tragedy in their lives, yet their overwhelming and controversial determination to be authors saw them rise to fame in their own lifetimes in a male-dominated publishing world, something that is a huge accomplishment. Their behavior and writing, however, was deemed by some to be highly improper and not befitting ladies. Thank you for listening.